Hello, you happy crumpin' wargamers. I'm so excited to have everyone back here. This is going to be a very quick video, but we're going to talk about something super important that's going to immediately upgrade your ability to play the game of Warhammer 40,000 and your ability to navigate tactics and strategy in general. We're going to talk about the single best math tool in existence for Warhammer. All right, before we get right into that, please, if you appreciate this content, if you like it, if you think I'm handsome, if you think I'm ugly, just leave me a like, leave me a comment down below. I always do read all the comments, and I respond to them all in a fairly timely manner as well, and I appreciate everyone's patronage. All right, let's get into it. So, what are we looking at here? We have a problem in Warhammer. People very often are going to be underestimating, or more likely, overestimating the averages of your units. You have a confirmation bias in Warhammer when you play. I do, so does everyone else I know. We know that if I do that 9-inch deep strike and I have a CP for a reroll, suddenly it can be like a 46% chance, and I can really do that. I'm going to make it happen. And then you count yourself unlucky if you don't make the charge. You're not unlucky. You should not have made the charge. It just shouldn't have happened. There's nothing unlucky about not making that charge. And one of the big things that happens one of the big distinctions between higher level players and, more middling level players is that higher level players typically understand that they're not going to make that 9-inch charge. So what they do inside their minds is they frame it so that if they do make the 9-inch charge, that they are lucky. Not that that should have happened, because it shouldn't have. So people do this all the time in other situations as well. Let's take my last video, for example, when I was going through the math of the Custodes Blade Champion. If you haven't watched that, it's awesome. I'll put a link below. But people will go, oh, well, the Nightbringer. Well, he's made to kill characters. He ignores invulns. He ignores Fiona Pans, all these things. Obviously, he'll kill an 8-wound or a 7 or 8-wound character for Custodes, so that doesn't get an invuln. But he doesn't. When you run the math on it, on average, there's only like a 14% chance of killing the Blade Champion. So you have to understand how math really does apply to your individual models. It's never obvious. It's never of course. This will lead to critical errors with you thinking that, oh crap, well, I ran the Nightbringer and I know he's a character assassin, but he didn't kill me. But he didn't kill the Blade Champion. Well, darn, I must just be super unlucky. I'm going to lose this game because of bad dice. No, you lost the game because of a false pretense in your head. You assumed that the Nightbringer should kill, that should kill the Blade Champion. But when you actually go through the mathematics of it, he has a very small chance of killing the Blade Champion. So that was not because you got bad dice. It's because probably you got completely perfectly average dice and you made a terrible decision. So we have to learn the mathematics of our units. And the tool I'm going to demonstrate in just a moment is going to fix that for you. So let's just give an example here. What are the chances of a Primarch surviving a charge from Beast Snagga Boys? Beast Snagga Boys being normal troops units for the orcs. Well, let's take Lionel Johnson. He just came out. He's an awesome man. Let's say, can he solo kill a unit of 10 Beast Snagga Boys? Well, on average, the dude's going to have like 22 attacks when he charges because he's going to be using a sweep profile, which is times 2 attacks. So on average, the damage that he's going to deal to this unit of Beast Snagga Boys is 20 damage. So 16% of the time, he's going to kill 10 models. 16% of the time, he's going to kill 11 models. 15% of the time, he'll kill 9 models. So on average, yes, he's going to wipe that unit of 10 Beast Snagga Boys, all 1-wound infantry. But on the flip side, how does it work out? Lionel Johnson being one of the most powerful, being an extremely powerful model with extremely great rules, he fights first, he's got all these amazing things going for him. Can he die to a basic troops unit? Well, let's do the math on that. Let's say we have our 10 Beast Snaggas. I'm not going to calculate the knob because that makes it a little complicated. Well, on average, that unit of 10 Beast Snaggas is going to deal 7.5 damage to Lionel Johnson, which means 30% of the time, yeah, Beast Snaggas are going to kill a Primarch. But what happens if we really want to make sure they kill it and we're willing to invest a little CP? So you'll just take your orc player and they're going to spend 2 CP to make sure that their Beast Snaggas can explode on 5s instead of on 6s. And then you make sure that they're within range of a character so they're hitting on +1. Suddenly that 100-point unit of basic troops, on average, overkills the Primarch of the Dark Angels. And in your head, you might think, oh, well, that doesn't make sense. How could that be? But it does make sense when you run the mathematics of it. So you need to take your units that you're using in your armies and run the mathematics on how basic troops do into them and how more Achilles troops do into them so that you can really understand what you need to expect. Because if this is happening and I charge a bunch of beast snaggas in and you heroic intervene with Lionel Johnson, and then say I just attack Lionel Johnson and he dies and you lose 300 points, I mean, you shouldn't be upset because the math says that he should die, right? So you need to understand this about your armies. Let's talk a little bit more about some usefulness here. So your games are just going to become significantly more reliable when you're using appropriate math. We always have these expectations of how our units are going to perform in order to have our strategy built. You have to know that if I'm the Orc player playing into the Dark Angels, I have to know my Beast Snaggas can kill the Primarch, so I can send them on in, and then I can do other strategies for the rest of the battlefield. But if I don't know that they can kill him, how would I ever put myself in a position to let them kill him, right? So you have to understand what your units can actually do. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a demonstration here. We're going to fill this matrix out together, and we're going to see how this works. So what the app that everyone's going to get for free, what it does is it's going to calculate attacks, charges, psychic abilities for us. And you'll have to forgive me as I transition. The screen's going to get wonky for just a moment here. So here we go, and then we'll bring this up. Okay, so this is what the screen is going to look like. Let's say, what is the likelihood of a unit of Eradicators killing Mortarion? Well, we want to see how we do this. So what do you want us to calculate? We're just going to calculate attacks. So we'll type in attacks there. How many attacks? Well, a unit of 6 Eradicators, let's say there's one multi-melta in it, and they're going to shoot twice. So you have 5 guys, they have 10 shots, and then the multi-melta will shoot twice as well. So that'll be 14 shots, right? So we'll have 14 attacks. Enter the wound modifier. Is there a wound modifier? Well, in this situation, no. So we're going to say no, there's no wound modifier. Enter damage modifiers. Is there a damage modifier in this? Well, yes, there is, because Mortarion is always -1 damage. So we're just going to type in -1. Does the target have transhuman? In this situation, no, Mortarion does not have transhuman, so we'll say no. All right, so we'll say 0. Sorry. What do your attacks hit on? Well, our Eradicators hit on 3s, but they probably had to move to get into range to shoot. And the multi-melta is going to be hitting a little bit less. But to make things easy, let's say they didn't move this turn, and they're all shooting, so they're hitting on 3s. So we'll just type in 3+. What strength are you attacking with? Well, the Melta Rifles, the multi-melta is strength 8. And then what is our AP? It is an AP of 4. What is your damage? Right here, we're just going to type in D6. And do we say that we're in Melta range? Yeah, let's pretend that we're in Melta range. D6 plus 2. Do you have full hit rerolls? Well, we're going to go with yes. Let's pretend that our chapter master gave them full hit rerolls. So we're just going to go ahead and say full. And then it's going to give you the option of like what types of rerolls, how many rerolls you're going to choose. Because you might choose to reroll everything. Let's say you're fishing for 6s on some special ability. But for the Eradicators, no, we're just going to reroll misses. So we'll type in misses. Do you have full wound rerolls? In this case, no, we do not. So we'll type in no. Is the target benefiting from light cover? No, Mortarion doesn't get light cover, and he's not benefiting from any other cover because he has 18 wounds, which means he can't benefit from cover. What's the target's armor save? Well, it's a 3+ armor save, and he has a 4+ invulnerable save. What's the target's toughness? He has a toughness of 8. And how many wounds? 18 wounds. Does the target have armor of contempt? No, he does not, because armor contempt no longer exists. And does the target have a feel no pain? Yes, he does. It's a 5 up. And then do you have exploding hits with Eradicators? The answer is no. And no auto wounds. And no additional mortal wounds. And no, they do not have brutal but cunning or competitive edge. Now this last button is awesome. Brutal but cunning, competitive edge. If you're an Orc player or you're a Dark Eldar player, this is really, really awesome because it's really difficult to calculate just how killy your model is when you have those special abilities. But the Eradicators do not have that ability. So we have a unit of 6 Eradicators with a multi-melta in Melta range, and they're shooting Mortarion. The average amount of damage they're going to do is 9 wounds. Means you're 92% of the time you're not killing Mortarion. How wild is that? So that is an exceptionally deadly unit that can really crush souls. But in all reality, it's going to take off half the wounds of Mortarion. So when you know this, why would you waste this unit going into Mortarion? Why don't you have them kill the Plague Burst Crawler or kill the whatever? So what you can just see here from this example is that even though you have an amazing unit that has full hit rerolls and deals crazy damage, man, it really doesn't work against the particular target which we selected here, which was Mortarion. So run the math on your killy units, run the math on your super durable units, see what they can actually take. Some Death Guard players want to run Mortarion in the middle of an army and be like, oh, well, he can't die, so boom. But then when they run into a bunch of people who are auto-wounding against him, he does die. And the Death Guard players think that they got unlucky. But they didn't, because auto-wounds change math. So you can always run the math on your units to determine what you like. So let's just go back into our PowerPoint and we'll finish up here. And I'm going to give you the link, and we're going to learn how to do all this together. So this is Felix's gift to you. It's called Odds Hammer. It can calculate attacks, charges, and psychic test. And this is the beta state, but it works beautifully, beautifully well. The charges is really, really simple. Let's say you want to make your 9-inch charge out of Deep Strike. Well, what is the likelihood of that happening? Actually, let's just do that together since we're right here. We'll go back to the move. All right, perfect. So let's just go into that. Let's type in charge. And I should spell it right though. Charge. All right. How many dice do we want to charge with? I'm an orc player, and let's say I want to see if I can use my ram and speed stratagem to. Now we'll keep it easy. Let's just do a 9-inch charge. What is a 9-inch charge? Well, how many dice? Well, we're going to use 2 dice, right? Drop the lowest dice? No, because we're only using 2 dice. What is the charge distance in inches? 9. Because this is a normal deep strike charge. You deep strike 9 inches away. What is the likelihood of your charging? Do we want to reroll charges? Yeah, let's say we're going to spend a CP to reroll a failed charge. Well, your chances of a successful charge is 27%. And if you spend a reroll on it, it's 47%. You're not going to make your 9-inch deep strike charge. If you do, that means you're lucky. If you fail it, that means you should have failed it. So this tool is amazing for helping you build expectations. Anyway, let's just get right back into the gift here. So this is called Odds Hammer. It's going to calculate everything. All we ask from you guys is just use it, love it, enjoy it, and pay attention because it's going to be re-released, optimized for 10th edition. And when that occurs, give it a try out. It might be paid for at that point in time, but once you see the value that this gives your gaming, seriously, guys, you're going to fall in love with it. The link is in the description. It is a Dropbox for right now because it is not set up as a business yet. This is just a free gift for everyone to use, so you can go download it from Dropbox. I take no responsibility if Felix decides to, do anything sneaky with that, but he doesn't. He's a very good guy. I know him very well. I have it downloaded from his Dropbox. There's no viruses on my computer, so I think we're good to go here. Felix, thank you so much for developing this awesome tool and putting out there for everyone to get to use. And I'm really looking forward to see how you develop in the future and how the 10th edition version of Odds Hammer is going to work. Because I got to tell you, I'm so pumped for 10th edition, and I'm really excited to put your new app to the test then. Until then, hope everyone has a wonderful day. Get the app and make sure that you are doing a great job crumping your enemies every single day. Appreciate you for your time. Have a great one. Bye-bye.